How do you account for the complexity of a client when you're pricing a specific service? Because what you can't do is say to the client, how complex are you? Because the moment you ask that question, they will know that that's going to increase their fees. They're going to be reluctant to say they're complex, or they may not consider themselves to be complex, or they might not know. Complex to what? They will only know their business. You're the person that knows all these different types of businesses, so you're the one that is best placed to decide how we manage this. So what we need to do, rather than ask them about their complexity, is to figure out what are the factors that contribute to that complexity. So let's say, for example, if I take a service like annual accounts, what we have in the system here is we use the annual revenue as one of those factors, because the more revenue they've got, that's going to increase the complexity. We've also got the quality of their record keeping. That might inform the complexity as well. But again, they're likely to say the quality of their record keeping is excellent, so that can become quite subjective unless you have our Xavier integration, in which case that is then going to give you what their health score is, and you can actually use that to directly inform the quality of their record keeping. But those two factors in their own right might not be enough, so you might need to bring something else into play. So I've created an alternative version here where we've got the same metrics feeding the price of that service, but I've added something else here, which is industry, because it's likely that if those other factors aren't contributing to what you would determine a complex client, then certainly their industry type will. Now, you don't have to be too scientific about this either. So let's say I go to the pricing in the back end here, and we look at the way that we're pricing this. It can be as simple as sitting down with your team and saying, you know what, for hospitality and leisure, we think it's taking 20% more effort to complete that work. Or construction clients are difficult to get hold of, so we're going to increase that by 10%. Or, I'm not sure, education are a breeze to deal with, so we're going to reduce that service. I said. There we go. So by adding these extra factors in here, we can actually start to decode that complexity and develop a system that everyone in your firm can use. And that's the key thing. Whatever you develop here, you have to think this is not just you using it. We need a system that can be firm-wide, because the moment we can get more people using the system, the more we can get more people informing it and improving it. Because pricing is never fixed. It's never something that's solved. It's just something that is constantly evolving and improving. That's why we need the most number of inputs, and it's why we need a systemized, logical approach to determining the price. So those factors should help you to logically charge higher fees for more complex clients where the workload on your part is directly impacted. The client never needs to see these metrics. All they will see on the front end is quality of their record keeping, what their annual revenue is, and what industry they're in. That will then produce a price that you can then present to that client very logically and confidently.